Hi folks, can you hear the game? Can you hear me? Welcome to the stream. Is this a restream? We're using the restream service, King Pepsi, however, it's live. Welcome to stream, everybody. Loud and clear, that's what I like to hear. Nothing half-hearted about that. Excellent. How is everybody doing this fine day? Everyone's staying safe, I hope. Thought we'd do a bit of Portsmouth Direct line today. If I remember correctly, he says, hurriedly rechecking the plan. Dum-de-dum. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm not using my phone. Completely not. It's fine. Having a sudden doubt, that's all. No, where did it go? Did it go in here? Yes. Ride along with the Portsmouth Direct line and Train Simulator with Matt. That's today. That's what we're doing. I'm definitely Matt, and this is definitely Portsmouth Direct line. I think we're on with a plan. You actually thought this was a TSW Portsmouth Direct line? Wow. Sorry. Unfortunately, it shows up as TSW in the game field because Restream and Mixer don't have the ability to select TS. So, but no, this is Train Simulator 2020. I've just got to remember how to drive Train Simulator 2020. So this could be fun. Good evening, driver. The weather isn't helping us out tonight. In this class 455, you'll be on a passenger service from London Waterloo to Guildford, making several stops along the way. Keep an eye on those signals as a service has been placed in front of you. Allow passengers to board it before departing. That's it forward. AWS has been dealt with. Right, lighty things. Instrument demo, I'll turn them on. Headlights. Headlight day. No. 9:50 PM. Is it going to be headlight night then? Don't need the markers. Door release, brake demand. Is there anything to play with on the back here? Does not look like. Excellent. That means there's less for me to mess up then. Welcome to London Waterloo. The service is running to Guildford. The white stuff is causing chaos on the line this evening. Please keep the windows closed or the other passengers will be complaining at you. We will be stopping at Waterloo, Vauxhall, Clapham Junction, Hurlsfield, Wimbledon. Please wait while I scroll. Surbiton, Isha, Hersham, Walton-on-Thames, Weybridge, Byfleet and Newhall, West Byfleet, Woking and Guildford. Please keep your belongings with you at all times or I'm going to take it off and blow it up for the fun. Is it time to go? No. Passengers, hurry up. Everyone please find your seat. I will be doing the 444 next, I think, Sammy. I'll put the brakes off, shall we? For some reason I thought this was a combined handle thingy. It's not. Running on a yellow. Do I want to raise my head? Oh, I can on this, can't I? Hang on a minute then, I can, because there's no score up the top there. Whee! Let's put that up there. And let's put him up there. That's better. Game audio is a bit too loud. How is it now? We were on a yellow light, so taking it easy. Quite used to the brakes on this thing. I thought I was applying the brakes and they just go banging them out, going back to zero. Yellow again. Get the feeling this is going to be a slow run. Have I ever been on this route in real life? I did indeed, Mickle. This route, when this game was originally developed, it was originally developed by a company in Godalming, which this line goes through. Just got a yellow. Just going to run up to 30 miles an hour. Next station is Vauxhall. I could answer some questions about the M3, but if it's things like when is it coming out, then I can't. But ask the questions and don't be surprised if I say I can't answer them. Is there any service stations in the M3? I'm not sure what you mean, Big Bean Kid. No extra services, no. It just uses because the M3 and the M7 do the same thing. Well, we were moving there for a minute. Morning, Northern Dodo. Oh, Baked Bean Kid's trying to be funny. Oh, sorry, I never recognised it, Toilet. Sam said he preferred Peninsula to the German routes. I'd go the other way round, just to be different, and so I prefer the German routes. But there's not that much in it. I do enjoy Peninsula. Hauptstrecke Rhein-Ruhr and Main Specify are probably my top two routes. Right, this is our home signal into Vauxhall, so we can pull into Vauxhall now. Yeah, the Tripack, the M3's definitely got an old world feel to it. Starter looks like it's off as well. Have I driven the M3 yet? I have indeed, so later. Hopefully this passenger stop will let the train that we're behind get a little bit ahead of us so that we're not crawling the entire way. ProBro, it's because we stream via a thing called Restream.io, and it doesn't. You can't set TSW or TS as a. Oh, sorry, you can't set TS1 as a game. You can only set TSW. Twitch let you do it, but I don't even think I've got the Twitch login details. How are we coping with COVID-19? We're doing very well, thank you. It's not causing too many problems. Not that I'm aware of, anyway. Thank you for asking. Right. Clapham Junction, 2.6 miles, leaving on a green signal. 40 miles per hour limit. M3 is the next release, I think, Noah. So one of the differences between the odd-numbered ones and the even-numbered ones, Baked Bean Kid, is the operators where they run. So Long Island run all the odd-numbered ones, and Metro North run all the even-numbered ones. Hence why you find an M8 running on the out of Grand Central Terminal, running up to New Rochelle and to up the other lines that are up in that general direction. Whereas Long Island use the odd-numbered ones. I think there's another case where the odd-numbered ones get used as well. I can't remember, but yeah, that's why you'll notice the M3, the M7, and the M9 are Long Island trains, whereas the M2 and the M8, which are in TS1, are on Metro North. Yeah, looking forward to everyone seeing the M3. It's I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. The team have done a really good job on it. Are they M3s or M3As or something, Noah? Because I know that they've got the M7As on Metro North, which are the Metro North versions of the M7. Metro North use the M3A, that's what I thought. Yeah, it's the A variant, because I think the interiors are laid out differently on the Metro North versions. Double yellow, which means that the 1.0.6 is our red. That's our home. That probably means that our blocker is currently stopped at Clapham, or is departing Clapham just now. Hopefully once we get past Clapham, the frame rate will get better. It's poorly. King Pepsi, thank you very much for the drink and the sparkles. Is that double? Okay, good. We're clear into Clapham Junction now, so we can speed up. MP15 ACs, but they're different to the MP15 DCs, yeah, other than just the motors being different. I think they're marginally longer, the vents are in a different place. It's amazing how many differences there are. The cab is quite different from what I understand as well. In almost all cases, it's never just a reskin. As much as I'd love it to be. Daddy Bees, thank you for the drink sparkles. Do you guys use the Epic Engine graphics? Unreal Engine, you mean? Yes, GSW is powered by Unreal Engine. We're in a 455. 45596. Mr. French, darling. Welcome, sir. Right, Earlsfield. Running on a green again. Speed limit is 60. Yeah, the weather's charming, isn't it? Put the cab light on and it goes. You see it better now. I don't like driving with the cab light, but it'll be more for you to look at. So I can do that service for you. Coming up on our double yellow. Danny Beast, the 4790p on the PlayStation is underpowered. Yes, we're currently testing a fix for that. Driving with a cab light is against the rules, yes, but then so is streaming while driving on Twitch. So we've got the clear path into Earlsfield now. No, the estimated duration of services isn't displayed in the UI, Dave, unfortunately. Maybe console as well, actually. Danny Beast, I must admit, I know it's definitely got an issue on PlayStation, but I suspect both consoles will be having the same issue. Just keep an eye out for a fix coming soon for that, mate. Emacs Gaming, Rivet Games are a third-party developer for TSW, yes. And there's no release date announced for the M3 yet, Caroline. Well, so far so good. We're maintaining schedule just about. Managing to run to yellows rather than reds, which is good. Whoops. Yeah, if you've got 4K and your graphics card will cope with it, King Pepsi, then it should be clearer. If you're running it on console, it won't be any different. Except that 4K does look nicer generally. Stopped in the same county. There you go. Not that much out. There you go. It's only a door. I've stopped far worse than that. Where is it? Oh, okay. It's on Hillhold. Wimbledon. Fire away, King Pepsi. There have been times I've not stopped at all. Absolutely. Alright, that's the double yellow. So the home from Wimbledon is blocked again. Cheers, JS. Good to have you with us again. We're clearing to Wimbledon. No, we ordered them, King Pepsi, but they got left at the platform, sorry. Hey, Joy DK, how's it going? I'm doing very well, thank you. Welcome to Wimbledon. Oh dear, where are we? We're at Wimbledon. So I thought I'd do Waterloo down to Guildford's, what there? Oh, spot on. And then we'll come up from Portsmouth and go up to Hazelmere, which is, I want to say, here-ish? That's Petersfield. Yeah, close. Let's drive the train. Join DK, we're all doing our best. The whole company is working from home at the moment and being well supported in that. It's working quite well actually, all things told. My family stays indoors pretty much all the time. One person goes out once a week for shopping. And that's about it really. So I missed 3 sparkle drops. I do apologise. Thank you for the sparkle drops everybody. Right, Surbiton. For some reason I keep wanting to pronounce that as Suburbiton. Vormik, how are you doing, sir? I don't think sparkles are quite the same as bits. Maybe someone can correct me. And I don't think you pay for sparkles, do you? I think you earn them by watching streams. Jai, I do indeed look at the YouTube chat. Someone hasn't paid their train ticket? Easy. Open the window, boy, I'm out. Still running on greens, which is good. Land of Mordor, thinking of getting TS 2020, what's the best DLC to get? Well, what do you enjoy? What kind of experiences do you enjoy? Where is your train enthusiasm? Volvic, no, the M3, their timetable is not getting an update at this point. .3 for Suburbiton. UK routes, okay. Fast ones like West Coast Main Line, East Coast Main Line, or Scottish ones, or commuter ones like this, or London. Do I see a yellow hailing us in the distance? I do. Lorenzo, now we're in Kent. I'm in Gillingham. Oh yeah, throttle. Throttle. Danny Beast, can I give you a hint as to the next UK DLC for TSW? It will have track. There will be track. You heard it here first, folks. Well, I don't know, I'm not promising that B9 bot, I'm not promising trains. I'm just promising track. Don't put words in my mouth. It's the repeater telling us we're actually good into Suburbiton. Someone's at the door. Well, if they haven't paid, slam the door in their face. Right, coming to Suburbiton, third of a mile. I am neither saying that you will, nor that you will not be able to drive anything on them, you know, Bob. Should go and do them Downing Street briefings, really. Correct, the M3 is not a new route. The M3 is just a loco DLC. Oh, it's your 20 bottles of Pepsi's, is it, King Pepsi? Excellent. You're a Pepsi person, I take it. It would be a really odd username if you're a Coke person, but I've seen stranger things on Twitch. Station is Suburbiton. If you wish to go to Surbiton, you'll have to get off at a different service. This is Suburbiton. I can't tell you anything about anything that hasn't been announced, Nigel Penn, I'm afraid. Esher! This is where the tracks go winding round on top of each other upside down, and I'll be driving along and all of a sudden the world will be upside down. That's what happens in Esher. It's perfectly normal. The locals are used to it. Train Track Chev, we have conflicting interests, I can tell. The coffee versus tea, and now we're going to be Coca-Cola versus Pepsi. Really? Will there be nothing that we can find a common ground on? Other than trains, obviously. Yeah, let's go with trains. It's pronounced Isha, is it? See, I like the raspberry Pepsi. Raspberry Pepsi is to die for. Fanta or Tango? Controversial. Is there a difference? Haven't found a difference. Lewis. I like to know. I say Lewis. Favourite American route, Davis Gaffney? In what game? Looks like the home for Isha is okay. Hey TJ, welcome to the stream. Hey on Ginger, how's it going? Do I like the NTP route? Yes, I do. But then I grew up in the BR Blue era, so it's kind of my thing. Are you saying that my streaming has made you drink, Rob? Is that what you're saying? Right, this is Isha. If you want paintings about weird landscapes and weird staircases that are interchanging with each other, you're at the wrong place. Go back to Suburbiton. See you later, King Pepsi. Hersham. Not to be confused with that American chocolate manufacturer. There will be no kisses at Hersham. Right, we're approaching on a double yellow. Where's that single? Single at the moment. Double yellow, so we are clear into Hersham. Volmic, we're driving this 455 at the moment. We're driving on 444 next. That'll probably do us actually, that'll be a good couple of hours. Litres of soda per shift trade driver. I don't know. It makes you sick, doesn't it? When you someone like that is able to. You look at a bottle of soda and you feel a reaction to it. What American route do I like most from train sim? From this train sim? New York, New Haven has always been one of my favourites. Donna Pass. I've not really used much of the newer routes all that much, so I'm not really weighting them fairly. But yeah, Donna Pass and New York, New Haven have been two of my favourite go-tos. But there's so many good ones there. Like Feather River Canyon's just gorgeous visuals. Particularly once you get to like the Kenny Y in the north. Thank you, Danny Beast. Is Donna only available in the UK? It depends if you want the kebab version, Chris. If you want the pass version, it's available all over the world on Steam as an add-on to Train Sim World. However, the kebab version is only available at your local shops. Right, let's go. Walton on Thames. Yes, Horseshoe Curve is another excellent one, Derek. Steve Van Epps made some really, really good scenarios on Steam Workshop for Horseshoe Curve, and then several other routes. But his Horseshoe Curve scenarios are just they're another level. They're really good. They use a lot of DLC, but if you've got all the DLC, go and have a look at the Steve Van Epps scenarios on Workshop. Big fan of his work. Double yellow gives us a clear into the Walton on the Thames. Gonna go and see John Boy. See if he's got to bed yet. There's a family that just can't get to sleep. Next TSW stream, I believe Sam is streaming TSW tomorrow. I'm going to have to make sure that the next scenario is a bit more during the day. I didn't realise it was just such a dark scenario. It's tolerable at the moment, but I will make sure the next one is a proper daytime one. Did you just call the Colonel old, Danny Beast? That's brave. That's brave. I'm the Husky. Welcome to the stream. What's the next station? This is Walton-on-Thames. He's not as old as me, obviously. I mean, you're probably right, but Most of my kids remind me how old I am all the time. There's a cab light on. Yeah, the cab light's on just to make it a little bit more visible in the stream. Weybridge, 2.09 miles, still running on warning lights. Danny, thank you very much for the mix of Sparkies. Can we have a horn show? Yeah, we've got double yellow, let's do a horn show. When it arrives, will the third-party software for TSW be available on console? Do you mean add-ons that third parties create? If so, you'll notice the 204 is already available on console. If you mean the editor, then no, the editor doesn't work on console. Epic don't make a version of Unreal for consoles. Not the tool set. What are we looking at? Double yellow. Gardley Cripps, your dad was station manager at Weybridge. Is there going to be a little Gardley Cripps running around on the platform then when we get there? Hey Tintin! A green light! Hurrah! Let loose the dogs of war. What do I think about the M3 being added for Long Island? I think it's amazing. It's about time. I like older trains. I prefer older trains to newer trains. Right, we are coming into Weybridge. Destination board of the 166 doesn't work because the 166 was built a long time before destination boards became a thing in the game. You'd never think this was loading off an SSD, would you? I might do a quick reboot of this machine before we move on to the next scenario, just to rule that out. Doors opened, Weybridge. Is a new route, Mauricio. No, this is the Portsmouth Direct line, Waterloo to Portsmouth, and that's been up for quite a while. It's part of TS 2020, if I remember rightly. Byfleet and Newhall. Ho ho ho. Do I prefer the Windows logo being opened? Depends. Sometimes I do, yes. Thank you very much, Tally Beast. Humble Pumpkin, next station is Byfleet and Newhall on the Portsmouth Direct line, and we are bound for Guildford. Vomit, yeah, I don't have any control over what the game is on Twitch via Restream, unfortunately. No, the timetable for Long Island doesn't change with the M3. The M3 just slots into the same things that the M7s do. Scenarios tutorials will be the same as normal, 3 scenarios and 1 tutorial. Right. Would the M3 make it more busier? It doesn't, because it's not adding any extra services. What it is doing is it'll give you variety, so when you see trains it'll be one or the other. Yeah, there'll be scenarios with the M3, Danny. And the scenarios that are in the M7 pack will also bring in the M3 as AI trains randomly as well. So it's worth replaying the M7 scenarios and just seeing how they look different with the M3 installed. Calum, this is for TS 2020, it's already out, so it won't be coming out on console, I'm afraid, because TS 2020 can't run on consoles. West Flybeat? West Flybeat? Where's West Flybeat? Let's go to West Byfleet instead. It's on the map. Hey Jim Oates, how's it going? Exterior view? Absolutely. Trees. M3 just runs on the Long Island Railroad, Yanchella. It doesn't get a new route, no, it's just on the Long Island existing route. Right, we're coming into West Byfleet now. $16 gig should be fine as a minimum, Rob. I think I did the Long Island service mode in 16 gig of RAM. In fact, I did 2 or 3 service modes using 16 gig of RAM, so it works. When does the M3 release? There's no date yet for it, I'm afraid, Yad Shaman. Will you release the FGW livery for the HST and 166 on GWE? Hopefully at some point. I don't have a plan for that at the moment. The work itself isn't finished yet. I know some people managed to find a cheaty way to get hacky access to the unfinished content, but I wouldn't recommend that. Right, we're slowly getting back on time again. Woking. When someone is in a state of pre-woke to when they are in a state of woke, in order to do that, they must go through woking. Yeah? These are all of the people in here, in this place, who are becoming woke. They are woking. Oh dear, how's the signals anyway? Isaiah, how's it going? Green lights! Yes, green lights. Good, I like green lights, but I cannot lie. I couldn't possibly comment, Danny. Possible to make TS 2020 to run on Mac computers. The only way you'll get that is to use like Boot Camp or Parallels or something. There's no plans to do a Mac release of TS 2020. Funny you should say that, Mick. Funny story, one of my friends was telling me about, one time he was on a train, he was on the West Coast Main Line, riding a Pendolino, sitting, in one of the seats with the table, had his laptop out, and he decided that he fancied playing a bit of train sim. So I fired up train sim and thought, you know what would be amusing? I'm going to actually run the route I'm on right now, because that would happen, the bit he happened to be on at the moment was in the game. So he fired up Pendolino, running on the West Coast Main Line, and tried to keep time with the train he was riding. He was having a great time. Then this lady, there's an old elderly lady that was sitting next to him, just seemed to be having a less and less amused expression throughout the whole thing. And eventually she tapped him on the shoulder and said, "Yeah, shouldn't you be at the front?" What was my favourite locomotive as a kid? Oh, I don't know. Anything steam, really. I've always had a lifelong appreciation for the 9F and the A4. Right, we are currently woking. By the time we get to Guildford, we will be woke. Working 9F at the North Yorkshire Moors, there is indeed, yep. Can you see the outside? Oh, of course you can. Famous, very iconic signal box here at Woking. The Woking tripod? I have no idea. Double yellow. I can't really run from the outside camera because of all the AWS that's going off, and I won't hear any of it now, unfortunately, Danny. Unlike on TSW, where you hear all the alarms externally, you don't on this one, which means that basically the train just keeps slamming to a halt all the time. It's fine if the lights are always green, but like this one, where the lights are always not green, it's a bit more of a challenge. Turn left, bound for Guildford. Last signal was a yellow. Taking it easy because I don't know what I'm coming up against. That floaty green light, is that for me or is that my P45? Looks like we've got a green. Is there any third-party involvement with the M3? We've got some external help from the community in terms of reference and some audio samples which are difficult to get hold of. Predominantly it's internally built up. But we've had a bunch of help in terms of reference and stuff. Much appreciated. It's been much better finished job compared to if we hadn't had that help. We're running on greens at the minute, so no news on Steamies yet, Jay? Miles to our destination in Guildford, which is where this driver terminates. Service probably doesn't, but the driver certainly does. The Barrier Garrett locals. I'm not quite sure exactly which ones you mean exactly. I like Garrett's in general. Hey Tommy. Bob, this is Portsmouth Waterloo. Yes, I've got a minute. So Portsmouth, Woking, Guildford, Portsmouth. Okay, that's Waterloo, not Portsmouth. Apparently, I don't know geometry. I don't know words. I don't know anything else. Right, geography. Got double yellow coming up. See you later, Jake. Thanks for joining us. You want to see this route come to TSW at some point? Me too, actually, Tommy. It's quite a good route. Double yellow. We're actually clear all the way into Guildford. Thank you, Danny Beast. Will there be another UK add-on for Train Sim World? At some point, I'm pretty sure there will be, yes. There's nothing been announced though. Home signal for Guildford, platform 4. I'm still too used to German routes. I see that 4 up there and I'm thinking, what? 40 kilometers an hour? Formic, yeah, early days we actually did experiments with TSW and TS 2020 in VR. I'll say it's amazing. But also that there's a long way from a prototype to be having something shippable. TSW subreddit, I don't know anything about it, so I'm going to assume it's a fan-made one. Same as the Discord. What do we get? 690. Well, it's not terrible. We're at least in bronze territory. Nice. Hang on a second. I said I was going to reboot the machine anyway, so... Let me just give this machine a reboot. I'll be right back. I won't shut the stream down. Don't need to do that. Don't panic. Dum-ba-dum. And hit the reboot button. Right, that's better. I can't see the chat at the moment, folks, so bear with me. Because the machine is what I was looking at the chat on is the one that's rebooting. Please put on some interesting hold music at this point in time. Right, machine is finished rebooting. Keyboard needs unplugging and replugging in because I don't know why. If I type the correct password into Steam, we will be winning. I'll be back on the chat in just a minute. Need to make sure folding at home is not running. Right, I'm back on the chat, folks. Someone type something. Tell me you're still there. This is where everyone goes away and pretends. Shh, let's pretend that we're not here. You're all mean. Right, let's shut down folding at home. Good. Right, start Train Simulator up and do the next scenario. Just wait for the game to load now and then we'll get on. Oh dear, oh dear. Who's got PDL then? What sorts of trains do you like driving on the PDL? When is Scotland getting a pack for Train Sim World? You won't see me yet, David Mangum, not until I got the game running and I can switch back to the normal one. When is Scotland getting a pack for Train Sim World? What would you like to see? Put your thoughts on the forums. But yes, I'd love to see something from Scotland there. Is there a program to download recreating assets in TSW? Interested in giving it a go? Unreal Editor. So I mean, in readiness for any kind of an editor release, whatever that may be, Blender is a good tool for making assets, and it wouldn't hurt to download the full the normal Unreal Editor, just to get the hang of what it means to get an asset in the system, because fundamentally it's the same process. Be doing a 444 next, Danny. Edinburgh to Glasgow, said she. Yeah, that's quite a commonly popular one, I think. A lot of people want to see that. Yeah, I've done some experimenting with Blender and Unreal, and it works quite well. Right. Portsmouth Direct line. It's going to do a 444. Portsmouth Harbour. It's better. It's in the rain. Tour Deck will love that. We haven't done rain for a while. But it is around 10 AM, so hopefully we'll be able to see something. Right. We're back. Probably need NDI running so you can actually see the screen. Remember the DSD reset is... Oh, yeah. Thanks for the reminder, Danny. I would have been lost. I would have been sat here, mashing keys, throwing it around the room, being generally chill about the whole thing. Hey, Asuna. Danny Bees, thank you for the taco. Rail fan, I'm the same as you. Of the trains in GWE, the 166 is my boy. Yeah, I keep forgetting to change the music back, Francois. I don't really run trains that often these days, so I forget it's got the wrong thing. That screenshot is epic. I love that shot. So is that one. I like how it captures the sort of the near and far distance so well. Joe Kim, unfortunately there's nothing we can do about that from Restream. They won't let us select TS as a game that's being played. And I don't have the Twitch and YouTube details to change it on there. They'll finish loading one day. Hopefully. How can I favour anything over the HST? Very easily. Very easily. I drive the HST once and then remember I want to drive something more fun. Video's not necessary, to be honest, for me, as long as you can hear my lovely voice. Right, good morning, driver. Hazelmere awaits your arrival. You are in charge of a Class 444 on a passenger service from Portsmouth Harbour to Hazelmere, making scheduled passenger stops on the way. Please allow passengers to board before departing. We're in forwards. Should that not be on? DRA we don't need. Where are the headlighty things? Are they up here? No. Nothing there. Cab lights. Marker lights. Daylights. Daylights! Take On Me said something about daylights, didn't they? Something about them living. Right. Come on, you can do it. Let's have some wipers. Moggy likes the wipers. External camera, 4-day station departure. Well, what I will do is I'll stand here, and then when the train doesn't move because it's waiting for me to do something else, then we'll go back in the cab and figure out what I've done wrong. Do I prefer the 450, the 444 or the 455? I don't really have a preference, to be honest, Valentin. They're all basically the same. I know that's probably heresy, but I do quite like combined handle trains though. I was hoping that was a green signal. Right, so we have left Portsmouth and we are on our way all the way up to the Mere Hazels. Right, let's focus on what we're doing again. For the giggles. Portsmouth and Southsea, third of a mile, due in about 40 seconds. but there is a 15 limit here, just to make life difficult. There you go, my happy. Thank you for that follow. I don't see follows on via this, unfortunately, but thank you anyway. Sorry, we're only 14 seconds late. Get the ability to pause time, take screenshots in TSW like TS. Something I want to be able to do at some point, Danny Beast. But I want to do something a bit more in depth than just pausing the game, like a proper screenshot mode. But no, nothing to announce on that. Rob, the guard signals I think were implemented in the locos, but driven by the game. As in, the game says do the guard signal, and then the loco plays the sound that's allocated to that, I think. Right. 15 limits as we come out of Portsmouth to Southsea. Next station is Fratton, just down the line. Big depot there. Yeah, there was a 377 over there, wasn't there? Let's go and have a quick look. There you go. Oh, hello. Right, let's speed up. Make one more in depth. Sorry, Danny. Oh, how would you make that again? Look, if you look up how screenshot modes work generally, just more functionality. Yeah, BT, this isn't on Train Sim World. I know the game that we're in on the platform says that we're running TSW, but this is Train Simulator 2020, which is only available on PC, I'm afraid. Yeah, oh yeah, no, I've been looking into a lot of games photo modes. There's some really cool stuff out there. My favourite British train at the moment is probably going to be the 395, the Javelins. Mr. Eds, how are you doing, sir? I think I'm a bit early. I think I'm a bit early. How many coaches in this train? This is a 5-car. My favourite GWR locomotive, but are you talking about modern GWR or the proper, controversial GWR? Steam. See, I like little ones like pannier tanks. I think one of my favourite locos has always been the 060 pannier, Great Western 060 pannier tank. Bedhampton, 5.6 miles. J50's not a GWR though, is it? Head fail. With a name like J50, I assume it's an LNER. Oh yeah, it's one of my favourite small engines, Ed. And I made one for a STS, yeah, you're right. But the question was, what's my favourite GWR? Right, and I'm on the Portsmouth Direct line in Swington 2020. Didn't GWR flirt with streamlining at one point? They were like the king or something, didn't it get streamlining for about 30 seconds? When everyone was going crazy about streamlining trains. His favourite steamer is a Tasman. Let's not talk about that. Hey, Doug. All stops Woking, Cyrus. No, we're doing all stops Hazelmere. Or I believe it's all stops Hazelmere. It might not be. I'm making stops to Hazelmere. That's the warning of drop to 50. Apparently it's not all stops. PC specifications, it's an i7 6790K or something like that, 6770K, I don't know, whatever was the good one of the 6th gen, and it's got a GTX 980 Ti graphics card. Jack Miller, there's nothing to announce on multiplayer at the moment. Hopefully at some point, yes. Still want to do it, but focusing on other things at the minute. Danny B. Stupid sparkling like crazy today. Thank you very much. Derek, you like the GS4, North and Western J's, the UK Pannier tank and the Black 5. Yeah, good choices there. I think of the American steam engines, the Hudson one, I used to know what the name was now, but the Hudson one was one of my favourite. The one, you know, the one that you always see, the streamlined one you always see in all the pictures of trains coming out of Chicago. J3A, that's the one. Alright, slow it down. Got a speed drop to 60 and we have the stop at Bedhampton. You like the washing line, Chris? I'll let Jill know, yeah? Should be thrilled. Oh, to the second on time. No plans at the moment to upgrade Train Simulator to a newer DirectX. No, Baratsting. Train Sim World is the Train Simulator with newer DirectX. Yeah, make a change, Eds. My driving teacher sensei normally is taking every opportunity he can to moan at me. Judging me from afar. If you could add any route for a pacer on TSW, what would it be? I don't care if it's got a pacer, frankly. We've done a lot of northern stuff now, so I'd quite like to do something in the West Country with pacers, although they aren't really running them there anymore, so it has to be historic. I quite like the pacers on Riviera Line. So I was pleased. You never come here, break, damn you! Southwest, can we have an M3 on Long Island Railroad? You know what, just for you, let's do that, shall we? Go and have a look on the Dovetail Live website. Maybe someone can post you a link. You can see an M3 running on Long Island Railroad. It was announced yesterday. The M3 will be a DLC. At this point with this loco, when I hear an alarm, I'm just mashing all the keys. got the other end. PZB reflexes, yeah. Well, this one's also got the DSD and the AWS set up a bit differently to normal, so I'm not used to it. Greater Anglia stuff we got, or at least Gemmel, Great Eastern Mainline stuff would be good to bring across. There's no plans at the moment, British Warrior, but I mean that's my used to be my local lines where my parents live, and where I've lived. I lived on 2 or 3 places on that line along before we finally moved to Kent, at Ingatestone and just near Forest Gate. So that line holds a special place for me as well. For me, that would be 86s with DBSOs. That'd be the proper way of doing it. Although, I really fancy doing 745s. Those new flirts are really cool. Are we slipping? Is that what's going on here? Next station is Rowlands Castle. I wonder if that's where the rat is actually hiding. Will Errol be in residence? And will, if we ask him nicely, he run VT? You're not English, you probably and really old. You probably have no idea what I'm just waffling about, but never mind. I'm insane, leave me alone. You knew what I was talking about, Moggy. You're just as insane and old as I am. Don't you feign innocence. "64 miles an hour, approaching on greens. So far so good on the greens. Upcoming 70 limit, and Rowlands Castle is a bit up ahead." Hey, K-Dog, how's it going? That's the 70 dropped. That's a warning for presumably for the 65, yes. It's doing the slowy down thing. Oh, have you got a keyboard, Danny, that doesn't have the control keys on it and things? I had a PlayStation one like that. Didn't have the function keys either. Right, this is Rowlands Castle. Rat fans. Right. There you go. Dang it, there you go. Don't tell me it fell completely on the floor. Oh well. That means it's gone and will never be found again. I use this as my for my control consoles, the keyboard I use. This has got all the function keys, control keys, shift keys. It's got everything. Really good. And it's Bluetooth. There is no release date yet for the Lear M3. Has control keys that don't work. Oh, that's interesting. Right, Petersfield. Oh no, we've got Petersfield, Liss, Liphook and Hazelmere. Okay, Dog, yes, we're all doing very well, thank you very much. Hope you too. Well, the driver changes at least on there, so favourite railway station? I don't know. The one that I quite enjoyed train spotting at, there's a couple. There's on the Great Western Main Line, the one with the underground. Is it Earl's Court? I can't remember where it is now. But there's one of the underground I did some train spotting on, and you got the underground trains, the overground trains. And plenty to see. Ealing Broadway might be what I'm thinking of. We don't begin with an E. And then the other one I quite enjoyed was on the West Coast Main Line, Harrow and Wealdstone, I think it is. But there's no update yet on content on editing tools for TSW. Ealing Broadway now. Let's drop the speed down to 60. Yeah, I can imagine Leeds being quite interesting. I imagine Bradford isn't too bad either, because you've got trains changing directions in there and going different ways. I imagine Bradford is quite interesting. Although, I don't know whether you see much variety in Bradford. Hey there ACAA, how's it going? More power on as we're going uphill. No, the plan was to do a bit of TSW. These daily streams are trying to mix up a bit of TS and a bit of TSW. So I'm doing TS today and Sam is doing TSW tomorrow. CJ Dipper, how bad has the quarantine affected me at work? Hasn't really affected me at all, to be honest, CJ Dipper. I've been able to set up my work environment at home to where it doesn't really matter whether I'm at home or at work now. And we use Microsoft Teams for communications, so some elements of it are actually easier because I don't have to go find a meeting room, which are obviously scarce, whereas on Teams there are infinite meeting rooms. So that works quite nicely. That's not the same for everybody though. Not everybody is having so much of an easy time of it. I'm fortunate. I've got a space that's I can lock myself away, and I've got my kids are old enough that they can entertain themselves. So and do schoolwork and college work. So that's really fine. So yeah, it's fine, and I like being shut away. To be honest, I don't. I found that I like it more than I thought I would. I guess I'm just a bit antisocial. Never mind. Not all ice cream is created equal. I would agree with that, Moggy. There is good ice cream and there is great ice cream. Pressing all the wrong buttons again. I missed the AWS. Oh, shut up, BP things. Mashing the button, saying, "Why are you not responding?" Oh, I was pressing the wrong button. Is this on like a timeout now? Am I on the naughty step? I don't make it go. Oh, here we go. Brakes coming off. It was in its 2-minute timeout. Go away, BP things. Ugh. Will you stay working from home when everything returns to normal? I think we'll worry about when things return to normal. We'll then work out what the best plan is. I think it quite possibly the case that a lot of people in the company that have found a comfortable way of working from home may well decide they want to work a couple of days at home, some days in the office, particularly those that have got a long commute. Because some of the people in the office are travelling, 90 minutes of driving a day, which is horrendous. Whereas I've only got, if I'm in the car and I take it easy, it's about 8 minutes. So I don't really have a justified commuting-based reason for doing that, for that. But yes, hello driver, I'm showing you stopped in the section. Is everything alright? Yeah, it's fine. I need to get out and take a leak. Prove me wrong. Right, coming up on the 40 limit, coming up here for the tunnel. Mike Dunning, you're on Train Sim 2? Excellent. Yeah, it doesn't take long to get to work from here in the car. No, I can't see anything returning to normal for quite a long time. But normal is very different to improved from where we're at. I don't think you'll see normal. You may never see normal, what we call normal, ever again. Things have changed. But that doesn't mean we're all going to be working from home forever and ever and ever. So. Create, do you have TSW and TS 2020? Excellent. Which one? What content are you enjoying? Then I can easily walk there. Don't you judge me, Tordek. Don't you judge me. I used to walk there. I decided I was too lazy. Hey, Dimitri, how are you doing, sir? To be honest, the real problem with walking to work is not so much the distance. It takes about 45 minutes at most. The problem with walking to work is if I stay late, and as I quite often do, as many of you know, that I then end up walking home at midnight through Chatham. It's just not a fun experience. Right, coming up on Petersfield now. How are we doing time-wise? A bit late. That's fine. We had to stop off for an unplanned PNB. You're buzzing, Dimitri. Create, enjoy. You're from the USA. Enjoy US rail riding. Do Europe every now and again. Excellent. The bicycle might be good. Yeah, I used to cycle it as well, and I can cycle there in about 15 minutes. Unfortunately, it's all uphill on the way back. And again, cycling at night, it's just not fun. I do a long day's work and then face a 3-mile cycle ride up steep hills. It's just not fun. I used to cycle when I used to live in Leytonstone. I used to cycle all the way through central London to cycle to Vauxhall, which is about 12 miles each way, and I loved that. I would do that all the time, any day and night, because it was flat. There was barely a hill. Other than Southwark Bridge, there was no hills on the route. I don't like hills. Hey Schnauzer, how's it going, sir? I think we haven't got that much left, have we? Oh, we've got Liz, Liphook, and Hazelmere. Thank you for the sparkles, Danny B. East. Do I like the TGV? Yeah, TGV is good. For those times I want to do a high-speed thing. Generally, I don't particularly enjoy the high-speed as much as some people do. But TGV is a nice one to do it in. See you later, Nigel. Oh yeah, indeed, DJ. Certainly, some things just can't be done at home, and there's not much you can do. Totally get that. And yeah, and they're talking about having to bring in emergency measures to stop having to mothball the tram services like the Metrolink and so forth. So, because that would make life 100 times worse if the public transport was scaled back. To the point of it being shut down, essentially. What railway do I live with? So my local railway is the South Eastern Railway. You know it in the game as the Chatham Main Line or the London Faversham High Speed. So my local station is Gillingham Station. Mike Dunning, what do I do for Train Sim? So I'm on Train Sim World project and I'm senior producer. So I work with the team on just about all aspects of it, helping them, trying not to get in the way mostly. Great Western or NTP, which one should you drive, Rail fan? Oh dear, what do you fancy? A bit of BR Blue Thrash? Out of those two, I fancy I'd probably go with either a bit of heavy freight pack action with the 40 hauling some TEA wagons, or a Class 101 on the Northern Transpennine. That's probably where I would sit out of those two options. Right at this minute. The 40 and the 101, probably two of my favourite locos on the Northern Transpennine route. List 2.3 miles. What route passes Battersea Dogs home? That would be the London Brighton. At least. There's possibly others, but London Brighton does. Chatham Main Line. I knew there was another one, Danny. I couldn't remember where it was. Chatham Main Line does. Ralphan, yes, aware of that. Those screenshots are from an unfinished loco. It's still using some of the remaining bits of the setup from the M7 which haven't been replaced yet. But no, I did mention it to them and they told me to shut up. It was on their list to do. Well, train passes Vauxhall. We did actually on the first part of today's stream. So this route does the Portsmouth Direct line. For licensing reasons, Paddington Bear is not present in TSW. I don't really have a favourite out of those AMX Gaming. I like them all about the same. I do some bits of dev occasionally create, mostly if I do get involved, generally on service mode or journeys. This is a 444 Southwest 158. Liphook. Trying to ease up on the speed now because I keep wheel slipping it, which is not good. Woggy man, how's it going? Just did it again. Create, no, this is a scenario. This is the 03 2 Zulu 18 0948 Portsmouth Harbour to Hazelmere scenario. 2.7 miles to Liverpool. Going uphill at the moment, so better watch out for when we hit the top of the hill. The train will leap away. What's their key for the high and low horn? Space B. So space B. Mike Dunning, this is TS 2020. Hey Benny. Hungarian route from Budapest to that place that I'm not going to even try to pronounce because I'll get it wrong. But yes, that sounds interesting. Have you put that suggestion on the public forums? Now the Southwest trains don't exist anymore, can you do SWT without licence? You still do it with a licence, but I think the licence is with the Department of Transport now. Thank you, Danny. Will there be a feature where you can accelerate time in TSW? That's quite tricky because the trains have to be actually run at accelerated time as well. There's no plans to do it at the moment, but I know why people want to do it, and I appreciate that. It's just a bit more tricky than it first appears. Yeah, UE4's compressed time doesn't actually work with. There is a thing called slow mode in UE4, but that barely works. You can just about double the speed of the way time runs, but that's about as far as it goes. The problem is because all the trains still need to be moved. It's them trains in them Train Simulator. Right, coming into Lippert now. What are you talking about, Chris? Are you running in 64-bit mode, Craig? Right, Hazelmere. Beeping in the background for Mick is the either AWS or the DSD. Sorry, DVD. Vigilance device. That's DSD. Sorry, DVD. .13 miles, Hazelmere. So Brinkless note, the M3 uses the existing services. Uh, 2.5 miles to Hazelmere. What's difficult for the Swiss route? I don't say there's anything particularly difficult, AMAX Gaming, other than it being a country that's not been done before in TSW. There's Hazelmere, just after the summit. We've got no way of converting TS routes to TSW, DJ, because everything is done very differently. Even how track is done is different. Easements are calculated using different maths. Junctions are handled differently. It's just a very different system. You have UP power in TSW. Create just for you. Peninsula Corridor now has a GP38-2. Unions. Hey Seb, how's it going? Welcome to the stream and the channel. Is a train auto-generated with trees, etc.? No, they're all laid by hand, same as in TS1. And that's the end of this journey. You ever get the feeling this wiper is just moving the muck around? What do we get? 666. Oh dear. If you lost something at all, Craig, then you should get in touch with our support people and they can work out what happened there. There's no reason you should ever lose something. No, this stream doesn't have notifications on. I need to find out how to get Restreamer's version of notifications set up. Right, that's it from me for this evening, folks. Good to have you with us. Tomorrow is Sam, and he's going to be running TSW. I can't remember what he's going to be running now, but he's going to be running TSW. Until then, stay safe, and we'll see you on the next stream. Cheers, everyone. Remember, 5 o'clock tomorrow with Sam. Cheers, everyone. Bye-bye.